Hi, I'm Tim Rigdon, Director of Silver and Vertu here at Heritage Auction Galleries, and I'm here to give you an overview of our March 19th, 2009 Silver and Vertu auction. The highlight of this auction, and beginning the auction, will be 200 lots of Mexican silver jewelry by the prominent makers William Spratling, Fred Davis, Antonio Pineda, Hector Aguilera, and Salvador Terán, as well as some of the workshops of George Jensen in Copenhagen and other makers. We also will be featuring a collection of 19th century American silver by Tiffany & Company and Gore Manufacturing Company. The first part I want to talk about is a collection of Mexican silver jewelry, primarily from the area of Tasco. The history of Tasco silver, it starts in the 18th century with the mining of silver approximately 4 tons per month from the mountains situated midway between Acapulco and Mexico City. It wasn't, though, until the 1930s, with the intervention of Dwight Moreau, the ambassador of the Americas to Mexico, that the revival of a crafts industry in Tasco emerged with the direction of William Spratling. Spratling, establishing his taller in Tasco, started to produce a number of wares that show a distinct influence of the pre-Columbian artistic heritage, as well as some of the northern traditions that you find, geometry and other expressions that are part of the upcoming modernist tradition. Out of Spratling's workshop sprang a number of other talented designers, one of the most predominant being Antonio Pineda, who started working as an early apprentice with Spratling, went on to further education in the arts, came back and headed up the marketing department of Spratling's Taller, and eventually in the 1940s established his own workshop, but looking a little bit more towards contemporary and modernist traditions emerging in the Americas. Antonio Pineda's work has a much more modernist tradition to it, looking much more strongly to geometry. And he is the real pinnacle of the 1950s and 1960s at a point where Spratling's contribution starts to wane and Pineda's starts to take off. A number of other terrifically great workshops are established. Hector Aguilera at the Taller Borda, as well as Salvador Terán, who works with his cousins, the Castillo brothers, in their workshop. At one point, it's estimated that up to 2,000 silversmiths were working, making jewelry as well as other silver works in and around Tasco. Heritage Auction Galleries has become known for its offerings of 19th century American silver, particularly works by Tiffany & Company and the Gore Manufacturing Company. This auction, once again, will be featuring some stellar pieces. Gore Manufacturing Company will be offering a piece made for the 1876 Centennial Exposition. It's often associated with the Thurber service, a large hot water urn with classical detailing and silver gilt highlights. From Tiffany & Company, we'll also be offering a large collection of Persian ware pieces, these repoussé decorated pieces with fronds and foliage inspired by Asian motifs. We have covered entree servers, a coffee service, a tea service, as well as miscellaneous pieces of flatware. From the flatware area, we have our usual high assortment of unusual fish servers by Gorham, by Whiting Manufacturing Company, and Schiebler. We will also be offering a spectacular serving piece made for the William Randolph Hearst service by Tiffany & Company, featuring a dancing Indian at the finial, the medicine man, with highlights in enamel. I hope you enjoy perusing the online as well as the print catalog of this sale. Once again, the sale date is March 19th. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to contact us. I'm sure you'll find something to whet your appetite.